Seems like for whatever reason, if you put code in the title, there's going to be women with large body parts somewhere on them, whether up high or down
Rhys?
low. That seems to be the lesson to take away from this. Other than Code Vein is a good game. It's a good Souls.
Yeah, no, I like my big body parts on women. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there. So this is Gameranx 10 new games of January 2026. I would like to know, as a gamer, who can't afford these things yet, but will eventually, one way or the other.
A new year is coming, and that means a new month is coming. And with every new month comes new games. Brand new, big, shiny, potentially very fun new games. And to me, it looks like 2026 might actually start out pretty good. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Gameranx, the top 10 biggest new games to look out for in January 2026. Starting at number 10, we've got Code Violet. This is a game that it feels like I've talked about a billion times now. It's been given vague release windows for a long time, and I mean, it still looks cool. Code Violet's got some real Dead Space and Resident Evil looking
look cool.
but it's a sci-fi horror, so yes, you got the cramped corridors, the limited ammo, resource management, etc., but it's probably more Dead Space than it is Resident Evil. I don't know, it's a little smoother looking
Looks
than
like Dino
Dead
Crisis
Space,
too.
and well, Isaac Clarke doesn't have the donk this protagonist does. And oh, they're capitalizing on it with costumes and whatnot. We're not going to get into that element of it, but if that's something you like in games, you're being catered to here. Beyond that,
good.
it actually looks
I mean,
like
if you make your main character a female and she looks good, you want to have her look good. But yeah.
a pretty cool game. Got some scary monsters, some dinosaurs, or at least dinosaur-looking things. To be frank, it's a cool-looking game. PlayStation Store has it listed as January 9th, actually. In some regions, it says the 10th. My guess is that's when it's going to launch, but I will say Team Kill Media hasn't explicitly said it. So we're going off the PlayStation Store, and the game is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, so we have to assume that they have a good reason to put that as the date when it's this close. So yeah, keep an eye out. Also, if you wouldn't mind doing us a big solid, click the subscribe button. Statistically, you probably haven't yet. Most of you watching are not subscribed, and well, now is as good a time as any. It really is doing us a big solid, and we also hope that it helps you see some stuff you want to see. So thanks a ton for clicking subscribe. Let's get back to the video. So at number 9, we've got The Midnight Walkers, a PC-exclusive zombie survival game that is coming to early access. This is an extraction-based PvPvE shooter, which is, to be clear, there is some controversy that has brewed recently about exactly what an extraction shooter is. A lot of it has to do with the leisurely extractions that have been taking place in recent games. I don't know what that necessarily implies for the Midnight Walkers. I don't know exactly how that's going to play out. I do know that it's a pretty aggressively grim-looking game. Given it's an early access game, it's probably going to be a game that evolves from the point that it is released, but it actually does look pretty cool. I don't know, we'll see. That's landing January 29th in early access on PC.
What was that?
And number 8, it's Star Rupture, a new game from the creators of Green Hell that's very different from Green Hell. So this looks to me like Satisfactory, but kind of Dead Space, but also a lot more colorful. Like it's an open world base builder on a hostile alien world with unpredictable weather, you know, obviously lots of aliens, and all of the things that come along with that stuff. You're automating production, you're building defenses, you're fighting off hordes of aliens, and, well, I'm not going to say this couldn't be bad, but to me it looks like it's going to be good. It's got a little of that Savage Planet vibe to it, except for a little bit more
it's got potential
grim.
for sure.
Not a lot. I don't know. It takes a lot of influences in terms of its artistic direction, and I think that's really cool. There's also 4-player co-op, and this is an early access game, but the specific reason for early access is apparently they want a heavy focus on community feedback in terms of directing where the game goes. So, I mean,
That's a good
looks
idea.
cool, and it may get better. I mean, I hope they don't change stuff that actually turns out to be good because players don't like it. I don't know. We'll see. That's happened before. Star Rupture is landing in early access January 6th on PC. And number 7 is the 7 Deadly Sins origin. Basically, it's the 7 Deadly Sins, which was a manga that started back in 2012. We've been seeing video games since about 2015, and they're going very big with this one. This is a fully open-world action RPG. The combo-heavy, fast combat is about as anime as you can get. You've got the aerial juggling, you've got the elemental effects, boss fights that are...
A lot of anime games are typically hit or miss. There are like anime-esque games like that, like anime-like games that don't follow a specific anime. They're just their own story. Those can be also hit or miss, but anime games specifically are more miss than hit. Like there's Digimon games. I haven't played a single good Digimon game, and maybe that's because I haven't given enough of them a chance. But the ones that do give a chance are just kind of like, meh. Like you just left a bad taste in my mouth. There's all kinds of them. There's one that I did in fact enjoy. Actually, I'll talk about that real quick. Sword Art Online. The one in where you're actually in that gun gale online. That was fun. I'll give that one a good rating because that was fun as heck. But more often than not, like these games are underdeveloped, undercooked, not made to be fun, just made to be a cash grab, specifically. But there's a few out there that are still good. This one actually, talk about this one real quick. This one actually does look pretty good from what I'm seeing. I gotta say. So maybe I'll give this one a shot. It looks a lot like the Tales game series, the RPG, the Tales RPG. Like Tales Symphonia, Vesperia, that kind of thing. Very, very good.
Clearly meant to be as fun to watch as they are to play, or at least close to. I'm not sure I love the fact that there's a little bit of live service DNA here. Co-op isn't automatically bad or anything, and it kind of depends on how it works. I do think they're kind of going for the Genshin Impact audience, which, aside from a lot of, unavoidable crap, given Genshin Impact is a free game, is a decent game. This is also free to play. That does mean that microtransactions are part of the plan. There's going to be ongoing updates, the story and all that. Like Netmarble has made it very clear they're going to be aping most of the systems in terms of the live service stuff from Genshin Impact, even if they haven't used those words exactly. Like they really want this to be a licensed anime competition for Genshin Impact, more or less. And honestly, like, I'm kind of okay with that. Like, we've seen that it can potentially be a good kind of game, this very highly specific version of it, but also those live service elements are not welcome really anywhere. So you gotta weigh what's going on here before you say, I'm gonna, jump into the... It is free to play, to be fair. So, like, it doesn't cost you anything to try it, but still weigh the things. 7 Deadly Sins Origin is launching on PC and PS5 January 28th.
All right, so I still say it looks cool. The whole focus on live service and trying to be like Genshin Impact, that raises a red flag for me. Because it's free to play, of course I'll be trying it out. If I had a proper hardware for streaming video games, I would totally do it on stream. Unfortunately, I do not, but I do have a PS5, so I'll definitely be trying it out. I don't know, man. I think because of the fact that there's two things. I watched the anime, both the full like Meliodas story where like it's the original 7 Deadly Sins, and I watched up to the point where it's at now in the Knights of the Four Calamity or whatever. I watched up to the point where that stopped. There's probably gonna be more seasons coming up at some point, inevitably. But for some of the anime, it wasn't very very well drawn. Like for the first couple seasons of the original 7 Deadly Sins, it was in fact well drawn. Like I think Mappa had it initially, and that's why it was so good. And then another organization took it over, and they didn't do as good of a job with the combat, which made it like not as watchable or fun to watch. But I watch it anyway because I'm the kind of person that likes to finish what I start. It's basically in terms of like a story. Like I like to see a story through to the end. And because of the fact that the anime wasn't as good as it could have been, and the fact that like it's so niche, being a not very well popular anime, I don't think this game's gonna do very well, especially not in terms of being competition to Genshin Impact. But it depends really on the Genshin Impact crowd if how tired they are of like that story not necessarily going anywhere, or the constant refresh of new characters that are basically too similar to the older ones that already came out and what have you. So it's up to there's several different like moving parts that may determine the success or failure of this game. But we'll see. I'm not sure it's going to do well based on that, but we'll see.
And number 6 is Arknight's Enfield. Okay, so Arknights is like a mobile tower defense game, and this is a PC and PS5 reimagining of it that basically says, what if we did that, but also a lot more? It's a hybrid of real-time combat, base building, strategy, and obviously tower defense. I mentioned Star World is a little bit satisfactory, or Factorio looking. This also, maybe a little bit less than that game, but to some extent does look like they're going for that. I kind of think that combat and all of that stuff is maybe a little bit bigger of a thing than the actual Factorio type stuff. There's clearly tower defense, but I don't know if it leans in as far as Star Rupture looks like it is into the production side of things. And I think that it's good that we're getting stuff that is trying similar ideas, but clearly going about it differently. That's what it looks like here. Also, this is very clearly an anime-looking game where the other is not. I don't know. It looks like it could be good. I'll say I'm probably a little bit more on the Star Rupture train than I am this one, but if this one turns out to be good, I'm there. Arknight's Enfield is coming to PC and PS5 January 22nd.
I'll say this one looks pretty good, but it also looks way too empty. It's very picturesque, right? That looks beautiful. Yet at the same time, it looks way too empty. If the world just looks pretty and there's nothing to do in it, it's boring. That's it. That's the bar. But hopefully that's not how it is when the gameplay. Hopefully it's not how it is in gameplay. But we'll only time will tell. We will see.
And number 5 is Mio, or Memories in Orbit, a frankly very uniquely beautiful Metroidvania that is definitely cashing in on the whole sad robot thing. You're Mio, a small maintenance robot. There's a big decaying space arc that you are exploring, piecing together what happened, etc. Space arc is a key word here. Arc is usually something like, Earth is failing, so we need to send humans off into space. Well, a decaying one, that implies that the humans did not make it. This has perhaps one of the most unique art styles I've ever seen. I love what it's doing. If you see screenshots of it, it really doesn't do it justice. When this thing is moving, it looks entirely unique. So if it is an above average Metroidvania, it's a winner. It's that simple. I think it has everything that it needs to. It's just going to be down to if the execution lands. And I hope it does when it comes out on January 20th for PC, Xbox Series, PS5, and Switch 2.
For those of you watching this video, I would assume you're a gamer, so you probably are already aware of terms like Metroidvania. But just in case you're not, Metroid and Castlevania are two separate franchises, right? But they each have the thing in common in which it's 2-dimensional or 2.5 dimensional, in which you're on a map where you explore the map, and as you explore, it opens up. You see more of it, and you go around to different locations to make sure you make sure you explore everything, so that you're finding everything you need, all the power ups, all the power ups, all the different move sets you can get, and definitely fighting all the bosses you can to get the best possible ending, and all that good stuff. But yeah, Metroid and Castlevania both being Nintendo properties for a while. I'm not sure what it's like for today, but as I said, when someone refers to a game and they call it a Metroidvania type, this is what they're talking about. Yeah.
And
this one looks pretty good. We'll see. it's Metroidvania is like pretty niche, so it's not likely to do gangbusters or anything like that. But I mean, hey, you can't go broke making a profit, so hopefully it does make a profit.
4 is Pathologic 3, continuing the series' proud tradition of intentionally hostile design. You are once again dropped into a plague-ridden town where everyone is lying, everyone is dying, time is your enemy, and every decision feels so wrong despite how correct it might be. And it may be the most correct decision you can make. A lot of survival horror is about fighting monsters. This is more about systems, people, and wearing through your own optimism. Allegedly, this game is going to lean even harder into unreliable narration, which I don't know if you've played Pathologic 1 and 2, but ooh. Anyway, Pathologic 3 is landing on PC January 9th, and if you're part of the highly specific audience that these games have, rejoice. This is going to be cool. I am clearly in that audience, by the way. Climbing.
I have not. I have not played Pathologic 1 and 2. I gotta say, it does look pretty cool. It also looks very dark. That's not. I am not in the right state of mind these days to play a game like that. But yeah, first-person shooter with clearly a decent-looking story. Like I can tell just based on the atmosphere of it, the sightings of things that are in the game. It's got a good story to it. I can just tell just by looking, and maybe one day I will check it out. Like lately, because of my financial situation, I'm buying games like on sale way after they come out, so like a year or two after they come out. But you know, it is what it is, and yeah, we will see.
Up to number 3, we've got Kiernin. Basically a survival climbing game. There's no enemies, there's no combat, there's a mountain.
So
and
it's
gravity.
boring.
There's gravity as well, and that's what the big deal is.
This is one of those games that are not for me.
Physics-based game. You might call it a puzzle game, you might not. I don't know, depending on your perspective. It is an absolutely beautiful, stark-looking game. It's a very different experience. It's very quiet. There is, right now, a demo available, and I would highly recommend that you try that. It's PC only. The game is coming to PC and PS5. The demo is only on PC, though. That being said, I think it's probably worth taking a look if you haven't really yet, because it's a super interesting game. It's definitely not your usual fare. It's not quite baby steps per se, but I wouldn't say it's not one of those kind of precision movement type of games. Baby steps is the most frustrating version of it, and intentionally so. This one is much more deliberate and grounded, but it may end up making it more stressful. I don't know. I've only played the demo, but I thought it was a very good demo. Kiernin is landing on PC and PS5 January 29th.
So yeah, I prefer more action-heavy type of games. It's definitely not for me. But I can definitely see the appeal of it. If you like these kinds of games, you like this one for sure. I can just tell. And I do like the fact that it doesn't have the yellow paint virus. Like, it doesn't tell you where to go via yellow paint, which is nice. I think that would defeat the purpose. I think that would defeat the purpose of the game anyway, so moving on.
And number 2, another Code game. It's Code Vein 2, the follow-up to the original Code Vein, aka Anime Dark Souls. Seems like for whatever reason, if you put Code in the title, there's going to be women with large body parts somewhere on them, whether up high or down low. That seems to be the lesson to take away from this. Other than Code Vein is a good game. It's a good Souls.
Yeah, no, I like my big body parts on women. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Like, obviously a sequel is a no-brainer. It was successful. People liked it. Clearly, they've taken that money and reinvested into it like, oh, we're going way bigger this time. Like, if the first one was Souls for anime fans, this one is much louder Souls for anime fans. I don't know if there's more to say. If you didn't like the first Code Vein 2 probably, I mean, it really doesn't look like something that's going to make you like Code Vein. But I liked it, so I'm in. Code Vein 2 is landing on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series January 30th. And finally, at number 1, it is Hytale. This is a game that has been in coming soon purgatory so long that I'm just going to say it's folklore, okay? That's what this is. It's folklore. Folklore that is coming to life. I'm sorry if that was a bit dramatic. In 2018, somebody said there should be Minecraft, but an actual RPG. And honestly, like, that's still a pitch that gets me interested. I'm not going to lie. And that's what this looks like it is. It's a little bit more detailed than Minecraft, obviously. It does bring you the voxel-based sandbox building stuff, but you've got much more structured progression, dungeons, quests, boss fights, etc. And honestly, it's kind of crazy that it's coming out. It looks like Minecraft, so, like, don't pretend that this is amazing looking, but in certain ways it does look like advanced Minecraft. Like, it's got some very pretty trees. Boss enemies look pretty cool, actually, but it does retain somewhat of a lo-fi aesthetic, not necessarily going for realistic or highly polished. I don't know, it looks cool. Hytale is going to land on PC only in early access on January 13th. I do have some bonus games for you as well, and keep in mind, the first one I'm going to mention, I don't know, I can't confirm anything, but we have some very possible leaks that indicate Prince of Persia: The Sands of Times remake is going to come out sometime during the month. Now, we do not know. I am not claiming this, but if it happens, I want to mention it because it's going to be a big deal. If they do
Yes,
they're kind of pulling a full-ass Oblivion with this thing, which I'm perfectly okay with. I want Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. Like, please give us that. We do know it's coming out on pretty much everything: PC, the PlayStations, the Xboxes, Switch, but we don't know if it's actually coming out. So cross your fingers. Old Falcon wants it. Let's bring some of that New Year's magic to real this time, eh? Next, let's talk about...
All right, so I need to talk about Prince of Persia. The Sand of Time game, like, I played the original when it came out on I think GameCube way back in the day. Fantastic video game. Oh my goodness. And it was back when Ubisoft was actually good at making video games. You would actually, like, there was a mechanic in the game, people watching probably already know, but there was a mechanic in the game in which if you messed up, you had a dagger with sand time power in it. You had sand in the dagger that you could utilize to reverse time by a few seconds to undo any mistakes you made in combat, or even attack skills that you could use with the sand. Fantastic, really really fun. And then there's also the outside of combat, there was the whole traversal elements to it, which were fun as heck too. And they had actually stopped making Prince of Persia games because of the Assassin's Creed franchise, which made sense because Assassin's Creed was very traversal oriented as well, and also very fun. Well, up until the more recent games came out. Yeah, if they did if the Sand of Times remake goes well, like sells well, I would not be opposed to them making more remakes of the original Prince of Persia games, like up until a certain point, because the Prince of Persia games went pretty hard up until I forget which title that wasn't very good, but there's a lot to be made, money to be made with more remakes of that series, that franchise. A shame they can't pull out more original content. That's good to play, right? But still, good stuff. I will definitely be playing that as soon as I can get my hands on it, whenever that may be.
Highguard, a gritty medieval action RPG without a lot of mainstream buzz, but I don't know, it looks like something that might be able to carve out a niche. It's a pretty specific looking game. Highguard's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series on January 26th. Next is Animal Crossing New Horizons, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. They're doing a next-gen refresh of this game. I don't really know if they're doing a lot in terms of like refreshing the character models or the visuals or anything. It's gonna perform better though. Pretty much anything that came out on Switch and is being re-released on Switch 2, I guarantee the reason that's happening is because the Switch 2 is a significantly more powerful piece of hardware that can run that crap way better. And finally, I've got Vampires Blood Lord Rising, an indie vampire RPG. that is promising to be progression heavy. So that sounds cool. There have not been a lot of details on this one, but it is landing on PC in early access January 30th. That's all I've got for you today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, is subscription. So click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. Become a member of the 1% Club. Listen to The Falcon Show every week on Saturday. We'll see you next time right here on Gameranx.
So great video by Gameranx. I was not aware of some of the things that are coming out. I'm glad to see that, January 2026 is looking pretty decent in terms of what's coming out, video game wise. Not that I can afford any of them right now, but that's okay. Definitely, if you like keeping abreast of gaming news, I think there's fewer channels that are better than Gameranx, so definitely subscribe to them. Anyway, it's nice to see. We're starting to see, I think, especially at least more in terms of at least in terms of gaming, we're starting to see better things coming out, even if it's just mostly from the indie side of things than the mainstream, unfortunately. But yeah. Like, subscribe, and follow me on these platforms. And remember to think critically.